So, Encanto was the latest movie from Disney. It's their 60th animated feature film, and it's about this family who have all these magical powers, and there's one person in the family who just she doesn't have any powers, and then when the magic begins to fall apart, everyone starts losing their powers. Only she can bring back the magic and hopefully restore things back to normal. So, this was a movie that I was only looking forward to because it's Disney and it's animated. That's really it. Disney animation has been pretty good for the last few years. They're probably one of the few only bright spots because who cares about the live action remakes? Who cares about Star Wars? And I just feel like their animation, for the most part, it hits it out of the park. That's what I'll say. But the trailers of this movie just did not interest me, I guess. Mainly because I felt like the premise has been done to death before by Disney before. And the fact that it was a musical and, Lin Manuel Miranda was involved, I like him, but I just felt like maybe this was a bit too much. And so I'm really glad that I just didn't listen to any negative thing I said about this movie because this movie's actually really good. I'm actually really glad that I saw Encanto. And it's one of the few movies this year that actually kind of made me tear up. That's all I'll say. So, what works in this movie? There's a lot of things that work in this movie. Mainly the voice work. That's really good. Pretty much everyone in this movie does a good job. Stephanie Beatrice, who she was on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, she was really good in the lead role. A lot of the actors do a fantastic job. Mainly her, the grandma, John Leguizamo, surprisingly does a good job in this movie. Also, the animation is so gorgeous throughout the entire movie. I'm never going to complain about bad animation in a Disney movie, but so I just feel like a lot of the animation from their house to like how they use a lot of the powers in this movie, it's very bright, very colorful, very well realized, and I really enjoyed looking at this thing. Also, the music. A lot of the music was really surprising, and a lot of it's really well done. It's not as much as a musical as I thought it would be, but when the music's there, it's really good and it hits it out of the park. There's like a few songs I thought were really good. One by there's actually two by the main character's sisters that were both really good. One towards the end that's really powerful, one that really made me tear up, and there's one sung by the entire family that's also really fun as well. Um, it's one I kind of don't want to spoil too much about this movie, so I'll just say the music is great, the voice work is great, the animation is great, pretty much everything about this is great. But also the messages of this movie are really good. Um, there's a lot of messages about how there's not just like there's messages about family, there's messages about how like who cares if you have powers, just as long as like you know just as long as you have your family, that's powerful enough. Just you have a family who loves you, that's powerful enough. And I feel like that is really powerful for this movie. And when you see in the movie, it's actually really well done. It's really well handled, and it kind of caught me by surprise throughout this entire movie. So I will say that a lot of the messages do work, and I kind of like some of the hidden stuff that's not really talked about, like there's stuff about family dynamics. I think that they do touch on. It's not as strong as the main message of the movie, but it's still there and it's still nice. So I'll give it that. Are there any problems? Well, not every song is great. Like the first couple of songs, I think are just medium at best. But then again, the songs that just the songs that are later in the movie, I think those are so much better. Also, not every joke works. There are some jokes that are funny, but not every joke is that funny. And you know, I kind of just chalk it up to lazy writing. It's like, okay, we just gotta have a joke here, so we'll just throw this one in. Okay, fine. Okay, it's not funny. Like, you have a really good serious movie here and it's working. You don't need to have jokes all the time, but since it's a kids movie, I guess you do, which I don't like that with kids movies all the time. But not every joke is funny. But other than that, Encanto is a really good movie. The music is great, the voice work is great, the animation is great, the messages are really great. Again, it made me tear up a bit. So any movie that can make me do that when I'm just like complaining about movies all the time, that's a win. And even though not everything is memorable or really all that funny, this is still worth watching because again, everything else about it is really good. I will give Encanto I'll give it 3.5 out of 4 stars. See it. I actually really liked it. I'm surprised by how much I liked it. So, what did you think of Encanto? What's your favorite Disney animated movie? They got a whole bunch of them. Comment down below, subscribe to the channel. This is Pat, and stay safe.